Welcome to the Circular Economy Challenge. Over the next 6 weeks or so, you and your class will be working together to learn all about the circular economy. You'll get the chance to set up your own company and come up with an exciting idea for a product or service. You'll then have the opportunity to present your ideas to experts, just like on The Apprentice or Dragon's Den. But first, you've come to visit Young Enterprise Scotland at our site in Rooken Glen Park, where you'll get to see the circular economy in action.
My name is Fergus, this is Scott. Together we are founding a company called Revive. The basic concept of what we're doing with Revive is that we collect and recycle used coffee grounds. So when you buy your coffee from Starbucks, Costa Coffee, wherever, there's coffee grounds left over. We provide them with a bin, we take that back to our facility, and from that we make a range of environmentally friendly products, sort of makeup, hair products, lots of different things like that.
So there was a kind of a mix of different things that all culminated in us being here, I guess. Number one, I think, is that both of us always had an aspiration to start our own business. So that led to us studying entrepreneurship at university to sort of build up the skill set that we could then use to do that. And I think neither of us really knew what business we wanted to start, for example. So part of a class project, we had to kind of work on different ideas, and at that point we were both working in cafes and restaurants, so we had started to see the issue of food waste. So we started to think, well, surely there's something we can do about that. And when it got to the point that we were finishing university, we thought, do we want to do this sort of full time and see where it takes us, or do we want to go and get a job? And both of us were thankfully in the same boat, in that we wanted to go and start our business and try and have a real impact on the environment, and that's kind of led us to where we are today.
I'm Jennifer and I work with Egg Lighting. We're an industrial lighting company, so that's not your desk lamps at home, it's your really big lamps in supermarkets or street lights or a Prestwick airport, which we've done recently as well. Our company started off with one person, started off with Brian O'Reilly, my boss, and he went on Dragon's Den, the BBC programme, with a product called the Energy Egg. You can still find it on YouTube. And what it was a sensor for your home, so it could turn off your TV if you left the room. But what it couldn't do, it couldn't talk to a lot of things or over an entire house. That was quite difficult to set up. So our idea came along to incorporate it with the lights. So you put both of them together, and then suddenly we have lights all over the house, or lights all over a supermarket. So by putting a sensor and it can talk to each of those lights, then suddenly it's a lot smarter, and that's where this idea, this company, took off.
My name's Katie Murdoch. I am sales manager in Glasgow for a company called Changeworks Recycling. Changeworks Recycling is a social enterprise, which means our profits go to charity, and we've been going for 15 years, and we collect business waste. We provide a service for businesses across Glasgow and Edinburgh, and we work with our businesses to help them produce better quality recycling and to recycle more. So all businesses today in the UK have to recycle. Now our company wants to help businesses recycle better, so that means recycling as much as possible, and it also means recycling to a good standard. So we want to encourage this good recycling because it's better for the environment. So our company is starting to adhere to circular economy principles. We actually recycle everything in the UK. So none of the recycling that we collect from businesses is shipped to any other country. It's all recycled as close to home as possible. So for example, our food waste that we collect from businesses is recycled here in Scotland and turned into energy that's used to heat homes. We also try and find a reuse for materials if possible. One example is recently we picked up lots of mattresses from a hotel that were old mattresses and couldn't be continued to be used. They needed new ones in this hotel. And we sent those mattresses to the Edinburgh Dog and Cat Home so they could use them for bedding for the dogs and cats who needed some bedding.
I'm Darren Wilson. I'm a product designer and I run a small company called Kabloom, and I make eco-friendly, fun products. So yeah, the idea kind of came from, I was at university and I was studying design, and I decided to focus on eco-friendly design, because environment was really important and people were talking about it more, and recyclability and all those things were coming into people's minds. So I decided I had to make something eco-friendly, and it's something that wasn't going to end up in landfill, so nothing made of plastic. And what I wanted to do was to get people to reconnect with nature, to get outside more, less watching TV and playing computer games and whatever, and getting outside and having a bit of fun. And so I thought I'd design things that were fun to use and you could grow. Make things that would get people to connect with nature and get outside and have a bit of fun. And to make things that weren't going to end up in landfill, so things that would actually biodegrade, disappear, could be going to compost. So I decided to make a product called a seed bomb. It's one of my products I designed. I designed lots of things at university, but that was the one thing that kind of stuck with me. And then years later, I started a business with it. You see, so it was the one idea that kind of really stuck in my head. And basically, it's a growable grenade. So it's biodegrades in the environment. It's got wildflower seeds inside, compost inside. So the idea is you throw these around into the ground and grow wildflowers for bees and butterflies and other pollinating insects.
During your visit to Rjukan Glen, you learned a little about the circular economy. This project is all about giving you the opportunity to set up your own company, create an exciting new product or service, and pitch your idea to the experts.
One of the biggest bits of advice that I would give based on our experiences, if you've got an idea or you've got a challenge that you're facing, go out and speak to people, and the chances are the majority of people are going to be willing to give you a bit of advice, give you a bit of their time, and suddenly we've been able to advance a sort of scientific heavy business with very limited scientific knowledge.
As a designer, what I find really exciting is honestly not lights. Lights are kind of boring, but I make it exciting because I have passion in making something better for people, for the world, for the things I'm interested in are making a product that's not going to hurt the environment as much and making people actually use that product. I don't want them to throw it away. I want it to last. So I can find a passion within my project, and that is what you have to do as well. It might not be like the most exciting project, but you can find something to make exciting about it. And if you do, people are going to be excited to hear your ideas.
Well, I think it's a really exciting venture to be involved in because the future needs to be circular. In terms of recycling, recycling is always going to be part of the circular economy. There's always going to be a need for recycling. So, for example, we need something to keep our food and our fruit and things fresh. So there's always going to be a need for that packaging. So don't forget recycling. Obviously, reduction and reuse are important, but There's ways that recycling can play a really big part in the circular economy, and it's thinking about packaging and solving problems around packaging that could be really, really useful.
One of the main things is thinking about it as a problem, looking for a problem, an existing problem, and finding a new solution for that, a new solution that's going to be something different that people haven't thought about. And that can be a fun thing as well, it doesn't have to be serious, you know, you can make it a fun way of getting people engaged and thinking about the environment or thinking about whatever you're looking at. And that's what I did with this, you know, it was a fun way of getting people into getting outside and growing. Thinking big as well is quite important, you know, like think about the big picture, about what the best thing you can possibly think of, and you can pare it down, you can get down to the nitty-gritty at the end, but think big to begin with instead of the other way around, you know, think about the details afterwards. So think about the big idea, think about your mission, what you want, and try and stick to it, you know, and also think about a story, you know, what you're trying to tell people. It's quite important to think about what's your story, because that's what gets people interested, you know. You can have something at the end, you can have a service or a product, but what's behind it, and why did you do it, and what's it mean for everyone, you know. So that's my advice.